Or maybe they'd have went 13-3. You know what I'm saying? I tell you what, I'm swearing myself off the premises until we get at least one win this season.
Are you?
Could you imagine that? I finally get to go talk to my lifelong favorite football team.
What if the voice that defined a generation fell silent overnight? In the glow of sold-out stadiums and screaming fans, he was a legend, untouchable, adored, eternal. But when the spotlight faded, a hidden battle began. A storm of doubt, loss, and a secret so heavy it nearly broke him. Just when the world thought his story was over, something extraordinary happened. This is the untold chapter that will leave you speechless. Imagine a life where every day feels like a fight, where shadows of your past linger, yet your future burns bright with possibility. For Jelly Roll, that's not a dream, it's his truth. From the confines of prison to the spotlight of country music stardom, his story is a testament to grit and grace, but even the strongest face moments that test their resolve. Recently, a cloud hung over his world, a diagnosis that rattled him and his wife Bunnie XO to their very core. What was this challenge and how did they rise above it? Let's step into the raw, remarkable world of Jelly Roll. Born Jason DeFord in the rough-and-tumble streets of Antioch, Nashville, Jelly Roll grew up in a home where struggle was the norm. His father juggled life as a meat dealer and bookmaker, while his mother wrestled with mental health challenges and addiction. Life wasn't kind, but music became his refuge. As a young teen, he fell hard for hip-hop, drawing inspiration from southern rap giants like 3 6 Mafia and UGK. Yet his early years were marred by trouble, arrested nearly 40 times for everything from drug possession to aggravated robbery. Could music really pull him out of this spiral? Even behind bars, Jelly Roll's passion burned bright. He'd hustle mixtapes alongside drugs, treating his rhymes like a business card. In 2010, a collaboration with Lil White on Pop Another Pill exploded online, racking up over 6 million YouTube views. It was a spark that ignited his career. Mixtapes flowed, partnerships with artists like Struggle Jennings and Tech N9ne grew, and by 2021, he stood on the hallowed stage of the Grand Ole Opry. Was this the moment he knew he'd made it? His shift to country music cemented his rise. In 2022, Dead Man Walking hit #1 on rock radio, followed by Son of a Sinner topping country charts in 2023. That same year, he packed Nashville's Bridgestone Arena with 15,000 screaming fans, joined by stars like Chris Young. By 2024, he was unstoppable, dropping Run It for the Sonic, the Hedgehog 3 soundtrack, and teaming up with Brandon Lake for Hard-Fought Hallelujah, a track that snagged the 2025 K-Love Song of the Year. In 2025, he lent his voice to Shaboozey's Amen, proving his versatility. But what drives a man who's seen so much to keep pushing forward? At the center of Jelly Roll's world is Alyssa DeFord, better known as Bunnie XO. Married in 2016, they renewed their vows in 2023, a celebration of their unshakable bond. Together, they raise his 2 children from past relationships, daughter Bailey Ann and son Noah. Bunnie's bold, vibrant spirit complements Jelly Roll's raw honesty, and their openness about life's highs and lows has endeared them to millions. Yet, even their love faced a test that no one saw coming. In 2024, Bunnie started suffering from strange, intense headaches. An MRI revealed a 2-millimeter aneurysm on her carotid artery, a discovery that hit like a thunderbolt. With her mother having survived a ruptured aneurysm, Bunnie feared the worst, describing the ordeal as a waking nightmare. She grappled with thoughts of mortality, feeling as though a ticking time bomb lived inside her. Jelly Roll stood by her, their bond tightening through the fear. How would they face this uncertain future? Thankfully, further tests brought relief. The aneurysm was tiny and posed no immediate threat. Doctors cleared Bunnie, but the scare left its mark, a stark reminder of life's fragility. As they exhaled, Jelly Roll was waging his own battle for health. Once tipping the scales at over 500 pounds, he'd shed nearly 200 by April 2025, dropping to 357 pounds through a disciplined diet of protein, vegetables, and daily walks. He admitted the real fight was at the dinner table, confronting a lifelong food addiction. Could this transformation change more than just his body? Jelly Roll's past isn't something he hides. It's fuel for his mission. In 2024, he stood before the U.S. Senate, testifying for the Fentanyl Eradication and Narcotics Deterrence Act. His voice carried the weight of experience. I was part of the problem. Now, I'm here as a man who wants to be part of the solution. He spoke of the devastation he'd seen and caused, urging action against the fentanyl crisis. Back in 2022, he gave over $200,000 to the juvenile center where he'd once been locked up, funding a music studio for young offenders. What kind of impact could this have on kids like he once was? His spiritual awakening added another layer to his journey. When his daughter Bailey chose to be baptized, Jelly Roll, skeptical at first, attended the service. What he found moved him deeply, a sense of community, forgiveness, and love that rekindled his faith. I may not look like your typical Christian, he said, but my heart's with God and Jesus. This newfound belief guides him, even as he stays true to his unpolished self. Picture this: a man who once stumbled through life's shadows now stands tall, wielding his past like a torch to light the way for others. After the roller coaster of Part 1, we dive back into Jelly Roll's world, a saga of grit, grace, and unrelenting heart. He's not just surviving anymore, he's rewriting the script, turning pain into a purpose that echoes far beyond the stage. Years ago, he found an unlikely lifeline. "Weed's what kept me from slipping back," he confessed in a raw chat with Taste of Country. Without it, he'd have tumbled into old traps. Pills, powders, the works. Rehab never called his name, but he's no stranger to recovery circles, showing up when it counts. More than that, he's a fixture at treatment centers, a voice in Congress, and a rock for his kids, especially Bailey, his daughter who flipped his world upside down. "It was like a lightning bolt hit me in a cell," he once said, recalling how her birth sparked a seismic shift in his soul. Fresh off a CMA win, he's channeling that energy into a crusade against the fentanyl crisis, a battle he knows too well. "I used to fuel this mess," he told the Senate, voice steady but heavy. "Now I'm here to help stop it." Could one man's story really sway a nation? Then came the whispers, dark, absurd rumors that cut deep. In 2023, after belting out Ozzy Osbourne's tearjerker, "Mama, I'm Coming Home," at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the internet lit up. His ink, his vibe, the stage, they twisted it all into accusations of devil worship. It stung, badly. He stepped back from the online chaos, retreating from the venom spewing across X. "I'm done," he told Pat McAfee later, half laughing, half wounded. "Y'all are brutal out there." A guy who wears his faith like armor, he couldn't fathom the disconnect. "I'm getting dragged into nonsense that doesn't fit me," he said, frustration simmering. Eventually, he fired back, loud and clear. "Evil runs scared when I speak his name. That's all you need to know." The noise faded, and he eased back online, wary but unbroken. "I'm dipping my toes in again," he grinned on McAfee's show. "But man, that place is a jungle. Has the Wild West of the web met its match? Trouble wasn't done with him yet." Spring 2024 brought a legal curveball. A Pennsylvania wedding band, also called Jelly Roll, hauled him into court. They claimed his rising star muddied their gig, leaving brides and grooms scratching their heads. It's a clash of names, sure, but it's bigger than that. It's about who owns a piece of identity in the spotlight. Trademarks aren't just legalese, they're a shield, a way to stand out in a crowded world. Jason DeFord's been Jelly Roll since way back, long before the charts knew his name. But the band's got history too, and they're fighting to keep their slice of the pie. This isn't rare. Entertainment's littered with these tug-of-wars. The outcome? It could ripple through his career, a reminder that even stardom comes with strings. How do you protect a name when it's all you've got? Overseas dreams hit snags too. Jelly Roll's past, a rap sheet he doesn't hide, keeps borders locked tight. In Tennessee, the parole board saw his turnaround and pitched a pardon to Governor Bill Lee. "This blew me away," he said after the vote, hope flickering. "It's not a done deal." Lee's got the final say, but the room buzzed with support. Sheriff Darren Hall and others vouched for him, painting a picture of a man reborn. "Songwriting started as a lifeline in jail," he told the board. "It cracked open doors I never saw coming." Hits like "Need a Favor" and Grammy nods followed, but Canada's stages stay out of reach, tangled in legal red tape. "I'd love to take this redemption global," he said, dreaming of missionary work decades down the line. Change isn't just possible, it's his gospel. Will the world let him prove it? His path veered into uncharted territory when he chose to harness his fame for something bigger than himself. Jelly Roll, once ensnared by addiction and the justice system, turned his pain into purpose, raising his voice against the opioid epidemic ravaging communities, especially the silent threat of fentanyl, a synthetic killer claiming countless lives. In 2023, he stood before Congress, baring his soul to push for change, his words raw and unfiltered. Beyond the Capitol, he's teamed up with recovery programs, funneling resources to those clawing their way out of despair. This isn't just talk for him, it's a mission, a lifeline thrown to others dangling over the edge he once knew too well. Full-circle moments don't come much heavier than this. He poured his own money into a music studio at Nashville's Davidson County Juvenile Detention Center, the very place that once caged him as a teen. It's more than a room with equipment. It's a sanctuary offering songwriting sessions, production lessons, and a shot at recording something real. Picture this: a kid, locked up and lost, strums a beat inspired by Jelly Roll's own redemption, and suddenly, a local DJ's spinning it on air. That's the kind of ripple he's chasing. He's not just handing out charity, he's planting seeds of possibility, proving creativity can crack open a future where bars once stood. While he's lifting others, he's also rewriting his own story, body and soul. Since late 2022, he's dropped nearly 200 pounds, shrinking from 540 to 357, with his sights set on 250. It's not about the numbers. It's about reclaiming his days, fueled by miles walked daily, sweat-soaked strength sessions, and a diet rebuilt from the ground up. Think protein-packed breakfast bowls and clever spins on comfort food, guided by nutrition guru Ian Larios. He's candid about the mental grind, likening food struggles to any addiction. A battle he's winning, one step, one bite at a time. Fans scroll his updates, captivated, wondering how far this titan of transformation can go. Enter Bunnie XO, the dynamo anchoring his world. More than Jelly Roll's wife, she's a podcast powerhouse with the Dumb Blonde podcast, a space where unvarnished truth spills out, guests bearing their scars, their triumphs, their messy humanity. "Your story is your strength," she declares, a mantra forged from her own jagged past as an exotic dancer and a childhood that forced her to grow up fast. She's spun that grit into gold, inspiring legions with her fearless vibe and a heart that doesn't quit. Together, she and Jelly Roll are a force, married since 2016, co-raising his daughter Bailey Ann, their love a viral saga that lights up screens and souls alike. Then came the jolt that shook their foundation. In August 2024, Bunnie faced a nightmare. Chronic headaches led to an MRI, and doctors flagged a possible aneurysm on her carotid artery, a shadow that echoed her mother's near-fatal ordeal. She unraveled, confessing on her podcast to sleepless nights, tears that strained her neck, and a gut twisted by dread. "It was my biggest fear staring me down," she said, voice trembling. Relief crashed in when a neurosurgeon debunked the threat, a vessel, not a time bomb. That scare didn't just test them, it fused them tighter, a wake-up call to hold fast to what matters. Fans flooded her feeds with love, her vulnerability a mirror for their own fragile moments. From a hard-scrabble start to sold-out shows, Jelly Roll's rise paints a vivid picture of his world today. He rolls in a 1969 Camaro, a roaring tribute to his Tennessee blood, and sports vintage Rolex and Patek Philippe watches, timepieces with tales. His homes, a tranquil Nashville estate and a Florida beach escape, havens carved from chaos. No private jets here. He opts for road trips over runways. He's built a music label to cradle new voices, inked deals with brands like Athleta that echo his ethos, and locked in life, health, and disability insurance to shield his clan. Invest in yourself. Invest in your people, he preaches, a creed born from a life that's climbed from nothing to everything. Their tale weaves resilience, devotion, and a roar that echoes beyond the stage. Two souls battered but unbroken, proving redemption's no myth and love can weather any storm. As their influence swells, you can't help but wonder, what's the next chapter for this unstoppable pair? Will they scale new heights in giving back, Or will Bunnie unleash a fresh dream? Whatever's coming, it's clear their saga's still unfolding, leaving us with a final chord that hums in the silence, a promise that even the roughest roads can lead to something beautiful. What does it mean to rise from ashes when the world expects you to stay broken? Jelly Roll and Bunnie XO have spent years answering that question, not with words alone, but with a life carved from resilience, love, and relentless heart. Their story, woven through the 3 parts we've shared, isn't just a celebrity tale. It's a raw human testament to turning pain into power. From the gritty streets of Antioch, where addiction and prison bars shaped a young Jason DeFord, to the electric pulse of sold-out arenas, Jelly Roll didn't just climb, he soared. He took a past riddled with nearly 40 arrests and spun it into anthems like Son of a Sinner, songs that echo in the hearts of fans grappling with their own battles. His fight against the fentanyl crisis, standing tall before Congress, wasn't a stunt. It was a reckoning. A man who once fueled chaos now pleading for solutions. And Bunnie? She's no sidekick. Her Dumb Blonde podcast lays bare her own jagged path, from a childhood of survival to a voice that lifts others. Together, they face storms. Her 2024 health scare, a suspected aneurysm that turned their world upside down, only to find relief when it was deemed harmless. That moment didn't break them. It bound them closer, a reminder that love can weather anything. Their journey isn't defined by the spotlight's glare, but by the quiet victories. Jelly Roll's transformation, shedding nearly 200 pounds since 2022, from 540 to 357, with a goal of 250, shows a man wrestling not just with a scale, but with the mental weight of addiction. Guided by nutritionist Ian Larios, he's traded old habits for protein-packed meals and daily walks, proving change is a daily grind, not a headline. Bunnie, too, has turned her past into purpose, using her platform to amplify voices often silenced, from influencers to everyday fighters. Their 2016 marriage, renewed in 2023, stands as a beacon of loyalty, co-raising Jelly Roll's daughter Bailey Ann and son Noah, with a bond that's gone viral for all the right reasons. They've faced absurd rumors, accusations of devil worship in 2023 that stung deep, yet responded with faith and fire, Jelly Roll declaring, "Jinn, evil runs when I speak his name." A legal battle over his stage name with a Pennsylvania wedding band tested their resolve, but it's just another hurdle in a life built on overcoming. Their world today reflects a hard-earned glow. Jelly Roll cruises in a 1969 Camaro, a nod to his Tennessee roots, and wears vintage Rolex and Patek Philippe watches, each tick a story of hustle. Their homes, a serene Nashville estate and a Florida beach retreat, are sanctuaries born from chaos. No private jets here. He prefers the open road, grounding his success in authenticity. His music label nurtures new talent, while brand deals with Athleta align with his ethos of grit and growth. Life, health, and disability insurance protect his family, a lesson in planning he shares freely. Invest in your people, bet on yourself. His financial wisdom, born from a life of scarcity, teaches that wealth isn't just money. It's legacy, security, and impact. He's poured over $200,000 into a music studio for Nashville's Juvenile Detention Center, the same place that once held him, giving kids a mic to find their voice. Every beat recorded there, every song aired on local radio, carries his belief that creativity can rewrite futures. This isn't the end of their story. It's a pivot to something greater. As Jelly Roll eyes global stages, still tangled by his past legal chains, and Bunnie expands her platform, their influence grows like a wildfire. What new heights will they hit? Could a pardon unlock international tours? Or will Bunnie's next venture shake the internet again? If their saga of redemption and heart struck a chord, drop a like to spread their light, and share your thoughts below. What moment in their journey hit you deepest? Subscribe to keep up, because we're diving into more stories of legends who defy the odds with twists that'll leave you stunned. Next time, we're unraveling another icon's rise from ruin to glory. Trust me, you'll want to be there. Jelly Roll and Bunnie XO aren't just a power couple. They're a promise that no road is too rough to travel, no dream too far to chase. Their legacy lives in every kid they inspire, every fan they lift, and every fight they turn into hope. From a cell to a stadium, they've shown us one truth. Even the darkest nights can lead to a dawn worth singing about.